start actually thinking about my robot, and I went back to the robot website just to kind of get some inspiration on some ideas. And I was kind of looking through these and I was like, man, if I really wanted to build something, I've got my base built. I chose the PLTW base, but I got to add something that's going to lift up those blocks. And I really needed an idea. So I started looking and I came across the PackBot. But then I also noticed that there was this thing called the Cobra. And I really liked how they built their arm. And I think I could do part of the arm. I don't know about this bottom part here, but I think I could create this part of the arm that kind of lifts up and down. So that's kind of what I'm going to try to draw out and figure out on my own.
So I want to create the idea, and so I know that I've got to brainstorm a little bit here. So I just took a piece out and I'm going to kind of draw a line here, and I know that's going to connect up, and then I'm going to have like this arm that goes out, and there's going to be something on the end, but I'm not worried about that right now. That's a different drawing. But I know that I got to get this arm to go up and down. I want that arm to move up and down. And so for me to move it up and down, I know that I probably need a gear right here. Yeah, I probably need some type of gear. I'm not sure. Or maybe there's a motor here, but I think I'm going to need a gear because I was looking at the gear pieces and just the regular pieces, and I was thinking, okay, well, you know, this is a circle hole, and then I've got a square hole, which I understand the square holes are actually done so that way you can put like an axle in there. But if I put like a axle in the circle hole, it won't. If I turn the axle, nothing happens. But if I put it in a square hole and I turn the axle, it moves. So I know I need a gear going into it with an axle. So I'm going to put with axle, and I'm going to need a motor to kind of turn this gear. So I'm going to need a motor here, so like a motor, and I'm going to have another gear turning that gear because I don't want it up as high. So I'm going to have a small gear. Okay, so I have like this small gear there, and then I'm gonna have like a motor turning that small gear. So there's gonna be like this motor here. I gotta figure out how to attach that. So I've got this motor, and then the whole idea is that the motor turns the gear, and then this gear turns big gear. This one has 60 teeth, so I'm gonna call it these are the teeth. So 60, so it's the 60, and then I've got this small gear, which is just a 12. And so that's my idea, that if I can get it to like attach in there, I could get it to like move up and down. And so this is just kind of my brainstorm here. So I was looking at my robot and I had this chassis built, and I was thinking about my idea, and I think I can attach like right here because I've got these holes. And I'm gonna go with this thick piece, and I think I'm gonna use a smaller piece. And so I've got this idea that if I can get the motor to attach to this, then what I could do is I can attach this piece, and I've got an arm that moves up and down. That's my plan. And then later on I could come back in and figure out this part. But for now, I think this is what I want it to do. I want it to move up and down with a motor here. So I'm gonna try to draw that out a little bit. So let me move this out of the way. And I wanna be a little bit more precise in my drawing. So I'm actually gonna put the piece on the table. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 to 12 long. Okay, so it's a 4 by 12. I'm gonna move it over here. And gonna kind of trace the piece here a little bit. Okay, so this is a 4 by 12, and this is my technical drawing for my arm. Okay, so I labeled it at the top, right? And then, so I got my 4 by 12, and I'm kind of, let me fix my camera here. And so now I know that I want this piece. Actually, I think I'm gonna go thicker because I wanna have some more pieces to attach to. But I also want it to go down to the ground. So I'm gonna grab, let's see here, a the 2x20s. Those are really big. Well, if I did a 2x20, that would go pretty far down. I'm thinking, oh, this isn't a 2x20. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I got a 16. And so I know that I'm going to have this 2x16 going down just like that. All right. Trace that piece as best I can. And this is a 2x16. Okay. And I know this 2x16, that's the part that's going to move up and down. And so then I talked about earlier my idea, I was going to have this gear attached to it. So I'm going to kind of draw this gear. Okay, I've got this gear, and this is my big, I call it my 60 gear because it's got 60 teeth in it. And I know that that gear is going to, excuse me, the gear is going to attach. So I got like this square hole, and then I'm going to be attached to the actual thing. So it's going to look something like that, right? Like I got to attach it, and I want it to move up and down, up and down, up and down. So I've got this attachment. So I got a couple holes I could attach there if you kind of look closely. So I can attach in two places. Okay, so I'm going to attach there and there. Squares off piece a little bit, and then right there. And then my axle is going to go right there. So axle. Okay, and then I need the small gear. So I'm going to grab a small gear from my kit here. And I know that small gear is going to kind of turn my big gear here. And that's where my motor is going to go. So I'm going to have this gear kind of turning, and it's going to turn my other gear, just kind of like that. So I'm going to put that small gear like right about here. It's kind of hard to circle, but I'll do as best I can. And that's I'm going to call that my 12 gear. It's got 12 teeth. I counted a little teeth on it, see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and so I call that my 12 gear. All right, and so now I've got my 12 gear and my 60 gear, and I know that I'm going to put a motor there. So I'm going to have a motor going right there, and I'm going to pause for a second and go get my motor. So I'm back with my motor, and so I know I talked earlier like I was going to put my motor here, and I know this motor has a hole that can kind of go into this like so. So I think I'm going to put my motor like that. And just going to kind of outline my motor here because I want my motor to attach. And then that's going to be my motor. Okay, and that's going to turn, my gear. Okay, so the whole idea is that this ends up moving up and down, kind of like what I was looking at when I was looking at these robots up here, like the Packbot and the Cobra. They kind of have that arm that goes up and down, up and down. That was where I kind of got the inspiration for my idea. And so that's kind of where I'm going with it. I see this as the big gear with a small gear turning it here, or maybe even like this. But I just don't think I can do that back and forth piece. So I'm going to try this part out. So. All right, time to start building. Let's get these pieces kind of laid out here. I'm gonna get some gears. Some axles. Those are some really big axles. See if I can find some smaller ones. Let's see here. Got a lot of these axles. I'm gonna go with a smaller one here. Okay. So I'm going to try a big one for my big gear. Push it through. Okay. Going up high, just like this. Okay, and then I'm going to put my piece on here. That way it can go to the ground, up and down. All right. Now I just need to attach that. So let me come over here and grab some of these small pieces. 1, 2. I'm gonna attach at 4 points. 3, 4. And then, oops, pull that out. Get in there. Okay, attach here. Okay, and then I think I saw. No, like that. Okay, so there's one part of it. Now I got to get the small gear. I'm going to use a smaller axle for this one. Let's see, let's go with this small one here. Push through. No, like that. Okay, let's try one of these metal ones. Oh. Okay, and so I got my up and down, up and down, up and down. All right, now I'm going to kind of secure these guys down with some black pieces here. So I'm secure this one down. And we'll secure this one down. Okay, and now I'm gonna put my motor on, but my motor is gonna get in the way. All right, so let's try this. Push that a little bit. Aha, to the other side. Okay, push that down. And then I'm gonna see. Oh yeah. Okay, and then I just gotta attach my motor. So attach my motor. All right, just be good and strong. Push this through a little bit further. There we go. And I've got my and then I can just I can attach my motor. I'm going to put something on this side to keep it on. It'll keep falling off on me. And then voila, I can attach it right here. And then I've got a lift. Might want to attach it at a different place, or I might want to take that off so it's not in the way. But now I've got something to lift up and down. I can actually attach on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that on the other side. Oopsie. Let's see if I can attach this on the other side. 4 places to attach. 1. Let's do 1. 2. 3 and 4. Okay, get that attached. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, my gear came out. Oh. Yeah, there we go. See? All right, and now I just got to attach into here, and I remember port 4. So I'm going to try port 4. Let's Oops.